gonna lie, this movie was definitely quite a trip. And definitely it deserves to be seen in theaters. I just came back from watching Warfare. This is new from A24, and this is directed by Alex Garland, which he's actually been with some mixed bags. He's made some really amazing movies and then not so great movies. Civil War, 28 Days Later, The Beach, Ex Machina, which is amazing movie if you haven't seen it. He also directed Civil War, which I have a mixed feeling about that movie. But overall, I don't hate his style. I really do appreciate his style sometimes. But let's get into it. I have a lot to say about this movie. I will be talking about spoilers, so just be aware. So Alex Garland directed this movie, but it was also alongside another man, and his name was called Ray Mendoza. Ray Mendoza is an Iraq veteran and filmmaker, and he collaborated with Alex Garland in this movie. Keeping the plot really short, it's basically a surveillance mission. Basically, you have a whole team of Navy SEALs. They're off doing a surveillance mission when unfortunately they get found out or something goes wrong. Unfortunately, an insurgency comes and starts attacking the platoon. The cast is honestly fantastic in this movie. You have people like Will Poulter, Cosmo Jarvis, who plays Elliot Miller, who this movie is dedicated to as well, and you'll see that more by the ending of the movie. You have Joseph Quinn playing Sam, alongside with Defaro Won Atai. He plays Ray Mendoza, as he was a part of this mission in real life himself. Everyone did fantastic, especially Charles Melton. He played Jake in this movie. I don't know that much about him, but he was fantastic in this movie. His movie presence really stood out to me. The movie starts with a very nice touching moment of just a group of guys just hanging out, laughing at a video, and just having a grand old time. You know, kind of signaling to the horrible things to come, which is a shame. Just thrown into the entire thing. There is no real like teaching or like looking at the background. Like, you don't get a background as to why you're there. You're just there, experiencing everything as the team was experiencing it in real life. And if you see some of the behind the scenes, they actually built a lot of the site in this movie, which I always appreciate practical effects. The movie has a really down-to-earth feel. There's no real extravagant explosions, no real extravagant battle scenes. There's nothing like that in this movie. It really tries to be grounded, and to be honest, it succeeds. The movie is appropriate in many times in the movie. It builds the tension. It is quiet when it needs to be quiet. It is edited fantastically. I do like the cinematography. Didn't really stood out that much to me, but I don't think it really needed to in this movie. It was enough to portray the story, but it really didn't stand out to me too much. Really encounter and you start meeting the team. They're just doing regular military stuff, because guess what, people? When you're in the military, some days we don't do that much. We just sit around, do surveillance, do some basic work here and there, bada bing, bada boom. Nothing really exciting happens, which is good. That's what you want. But unfortunately, it's not always, and that's what this platoon ended up finding out. They were attacked, and when the attacks do happen, they happen suddenly. It never really throws you a curveball. They just happen, and you're just like, oh crap, now what? And you just have to respond, and you have seconds to respond, and these seconds matter, and it's done very well. The tension was done very well. There's a scene especially that has to do with a grenade, and that was like, oh crap, you know, it's like, get out of the way, do something, and then it just explodes. But that was not the only scene that was quite shocking. There was another scene that happens more in the middle of the movie that is quite shocking, and it happens so suddenly, and it kind of shows you, you know, like, when these things happen, they just happen, and there's nothing that you can do about it. I'll say though, I thought that this movie was gonna be a little more gory, which it actually wasn't. This movie was very held back in the gore. In fact, there was only one gory scene in this movie, and when that scene happened, it stood out, and I think that was the point of it, is that one shocking scene was just enough for you to be like, oh my god, like this is horrible. I think that that's where this movie really succeeds. It didn't do anything super crazy. It didn't have to, because this movie is about warfare. The interpretation of the title, Warfare, is very appropriate to this movie, because this is what this movie feels like. This is what warfare looks like. It's ugly. People play dirty. People don't play by the rules. Horrible things happen, and there's nothing that you could have done about it, and it happens to good people, and it sucks, but that's what warfare is. Portrays the brutality without having to bring, you know, all the blood, the guts, and death. You appreciated the camaraderie demonstrated between a lot of the characters in this movie. You have to have camaraderie, and you have to have leaders, and you have to follow orders in order to get out of situations like this. And the frustration that the soldiers sometimes have to deal with when they need an air support or evacuation, sometimes the things that they have to deal with, it is frustrating, and the movie shows it very well, and I appreciated that touch. I think this movie is a fantastic movie. It does deserve the attention that it is getting. A24 did a fantastic job with this movie. I do think that it is worthy of being seen in theaters. I saw this in IMAX, and I'm not gonna lie, the entire theater was packed. It was like in the middle of the week showing late at night, and for some ungodly reason the theater was packed, and honestly everyone was having a great time. I had a great time. This was a fantastic movie. Is it the best warfare movie I've seen? No, I really do still think that that falls onto The Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker was truly a fantastic movie in my opinion, but it's up there. I'm definitely gonna be giving this movie an 8 out of 10. The only thing that I didn't like about this movie is that it needed an anchor. There are so many characters here and there, and trying to tell the story of this character and this character, I didn't really have someone that I could like latch onto. They tried to do that with Ray Mendoza's character, but at least to me, I didn't connect too much to him, so it didn't really succeed. So I just felt like, I need someone to hook up to, and then the movie ends and it's like, oh, by the way, it's about this guy and dedication to this guy, and I'm like, wait, what? Confusing at first, that's the only thing I will say about it, but everything else I really didn't mind. Anyway guys, those are my thoughts. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe. Guys, I'll see y'all for the next one. I have a couple movies that I'm gonna review for this week. I'm gonna try and get the movies out as soon as possible. I have a lot to do on my schedule. Please bear with me, but I'll see y'all for the next one. Bye.